Hello and welcome to Following Truth Bible Study, Bible Bites. I'm your host, LJ. Is praying in tongues biblical? There are many different claims when it comes to tongues or praying in tongues. Some say that it is not biblical, some going as far to say that if you do not pray in tongues, then you have not been saved, as speaking in tongues is evidence that you have received the Spirit. Many claim that when speaking in tongues, they are speaking in an angelic language. However, this assertion is simply based on misunderstanding of what the text actually states. When we look at what the Bible really says, we will see that tongues are actually foreign human languages unlearned by the speaker. There are, in fact, only three incidences of tongues recorded in the entire Bible. The first time, in Acts 2, is where the disciples speak in the languages of the foreign Jews who had gathered in Jerusalem for Pentecost. It is very clear that these tongues were human languages that disciples were speaking in. Tongues are also used in Acts chapter 10 and chapter 19. We are not told in either of these occurrences of uh, that these are human tongues or human languages. However, we are not told otherwise, and we are not given any other explanation of what these tongues are. So it would be correct to understand them in the same way that we have already seen and was clearly explained in Acts chapter 2. Therefore, we should interpret these tongues as human languages. Tongues are just one of the gifts of the Spirit. But Paul in 1 Corinthians makes it clear that not everyone receives the same gift. The Spirit gives the gifts as he wills. I personally have never met anyone who has in fact had this gift. Paul further argues that tongues, the foreign human languages, should only be spoken to edify the church, and so it uh, requires for there to be an interpreter of tongues to be present, otherwise, the speaker edifies himself only. Paul states that without the interpreter, tongues should not actually be spoken. We are also told that tongues are a sign to unbelievers. There is nothing in the scriptures that would even remotely indicate that a person would speak in tongues as a sign that they have received the Spirit. And thus, until a person speaks in tongues, they have not actually received the Spirit and so have not been saved. There are clear scriptures where people are saved without speaking in tongues. The scriptures only demonstrate that those that are recorded as having spoken in tongues had received the Spirit before they actually did so. Tongues are biblical, they are unlearned human languages, but not everyone is given this gift. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. You can support this channel through Patreon. A link is in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on another video. Shalom.